If we could have your attention, please. We are now joined by our race-winning team owner of Hendrick Motorsports, Rick Hendrick. Mr. Hendrick, congratulations on today's win. Certainly your team has had a lot of success here at Martinsville, but with the 48 now moving on to the Championship 4, just talk about what that means to you and your organization.
It means it takes a lot of pressure off right now. I'll tell you, just having to win, just like Charlotte, to advance into that round, and we're really looking forward to Texas because that's a really good track for Jimmy. But to win here and know we're locked into Homestead, that's it's a great relief. So you know, it's a special race for us, and I think this was our 24th clock here, so they told me. So I'm pretty excited about that, and we're just excited about going the momentum that we have now going to Homestead. We got a couple good tracks coming up, so looking forward to it.
Okay, we have time for a few questions. We'll start here in the front with Jim and then go to Kenny.
Jim Utter, motorsport.com. Rick, this is the first time that Jimmy and Chad have, under the new format, have advanced to the Championship 4, and they have 2 races, in essence, to get ready. What is the benefit, you think, for them, and does this make Jimmy a legitimate contender for that 7th championship?
Yeah, I think so. I hope so. You know, we've gained a lot of speed. They found a lot of things and gained a lot of momentum, and you know, confidence is a big factor. And Chase had a really good test at Homestead, and Jimmy always runs good in Texas. So just knowing that you get to go to that final race and that you don't have cut a tire or have a part failure or anything else that can happen, you can go race with a lot of confidence and then prepare for that race. And so I think they've been in that race before, you know, so this time, you know, we've been to Homestead a lot of times with a little bit of a points lead, but he understands the pressure of that race. So just getting there and being in position to race the other guys for the win's pretty cool.
Kenny Bruce, NASCAR.com. Rick, we always hear people talk about when one team or 2 teams from an organization make it into the chase that everybody else is going to pitch in and help those. But what can you guys actually do to help the 48 team going forward that maybe you wouldn't normally do under any other circumstances? Does it differ that much, or is it the same?
Well, I think you know, you saw the Toyotas let each other in today and give each other a hole when there was an opportunity. You know, a teammate will let you in if it's a restart. You know, those things kind of happen on the track. But our organization's been working really hard together in the wind tunnel and sharing everything, and a tremendous amount of respect between the guys. Having Jeff back in the car has helped a lot. Seeing Chase really come up to speed a lot of time in the simulator, and it's all of it. All of the work is paying off. It's all coming together. The engine shop's doing real well. You know, Chase has been so good on the 1.5 miles. So Alex has done a good job. Jeff's done a good job. Casey's picked up the second half and had a bunch of top 10. So I'm really proud of him because I can tell you we've never worked as close, shared as much, leaned on each other as much as we have since about June, July. And it's good to see it paying off.
Okay, we'll go to Bob, Jeff, and then finish up with Jenna.
Bob Hawkers, ESPN.
Hey, Bob.
Hey, I think in Bristol we were asking you what's wrong, what's wrong, what's wrong. So could you have envisioned this strong of a performance from Jimmy? And then also, are you going to tap into Jeff Gordon if you need him again in upcoming years, or is 8 races enough?
I watched him today. I think he's too good to quit. So, you know. You know, sometimes you're not as good as you look, and you're not as bad as you look. And I don't think we were as bad, because we were pretty terrible about April, May, and we started picking up speed, getting to the front, leading some laps, and we could see it coming. And then right when I met you guys in Bristol, we'd spent a lot of time in the wind tunnel, and it started paying off, and we could see it and test and everything else. And you know, did I think we would run this good? I thought Chase would be in it. I actually, if any two of those accidents in Charlotte or Chicago, you know, I think he could have been. I don't know if he'd have made this round, but I have a lot of confidence in our guys when they really put their heads down and we work, and everybody put in a lot of effort. And it's not easy out there. I mean, it's a tough business, but we got a lot of hardworking, smart people, and when they work together, it's, you know, we can get results. So, but I felt like we could be at Homestead, but there's no guarantee. There's a whole lot of people in the garage that thought they'd be at Homestead that won't be at Homestead.
Okay, next question from Jeff.
Hi, Rick. Is it
Yeah.
starting to feel like the year where Jimmy finally wins his 7th, or with this format, is it too hard to get that kind of feeling?
Man, it's so hard. This deal is so hard on this new program. I mean, you see guys like Martin Truex that run so good and break a motor at Talladega. It's just, I mean, it's a heartbreaker. It just, when you get into the playoffs in baseball, the ball doesn't go flat, or you don't get a bat that comes apart. It's just, there's a lot of things out of your control that you just can't do anything about. But I think this is an excellent shot for us, for Jimmy, because I think he's got that stride. He showed it today when he was on the outside of Denny. He just didn't give it up, and he knows he's got a tremendous feel. He did it in Charlotte. You know, if I've got a race for the win at a track like that, then I'd put my money on him. And so I think all the components, the engine shop, chassis shop, aero, everything is in a good place. And then with Jimmy, when all the chips are down and it's for the 7th championship, I think he's going to ratchet it up a notch.
Okay, we'll take our last question from Jenna.
Jennifer.
You finally decided to come to a NASCAR race?
Thanks for
I
welcoming
thought they
me
didn't
back.
have any Indy races this weekend.
No, they were off. They were off.
Okay.
Yeah. It's good to see you too. I have 2 questions. Jeff, in terms of Jeff's final race, his answers consistently, you have to ask Rick. So if you're in need of a replacement driver, is he still your first call?
Absolutely.
Does he have a choice in that? Or
No.
Okay. How do you think he ran today?
I think he did a great job. There in the middle of the race, he was coming. I thought, man, he could win this thing. And you know, it's hard to, you know, it's really tough to be out of the car and jump back in and race with these guys without having the, you know, week-to-week input into the car. And don't you guys agree he's too young to retire?
Yeah.
I mean, he's too good. But maybe we'll vote him back in. What do you think? Maybe they can come up with a new deal. I don't know. He's the one that said I could call him if I needed him. He told you guys that, right?
He didn't make it sound that way.
Huh?
He didn't make it sound that way.
Oh, okay.
My second question is, now that Jimmy's got his slide, he even acknowledged outside that it's inevitable that the talk of the 7th is going to just surround him, but he doesn't want to think about it. How does he balance that? Because it is in reach now for him, and it's not something that you probably want to defeat you mentally.
You know, but if you think back, when it was 3 in a row, 4 in a row, 5 in a row, going for 6, I mean, he's been there. It's not like somebody that's trying to get their first championship or that's been so close and never won one. I think he's really just enjoying the moment, and I think the pressure will probably build when he gets to Homestead. But he's been at Homestead 6 times and delivered, so I put my money on him. I mean, it's a lot. It's like some of these teams when they get to the playoffs, they're hard to beat, and I think that Chad's that way, he's that way, and they know how to race for that deal. So I really don't worry about that part of Jimmy. No, I think he will handle that with no problem.
Mr. Hendrick, thank you so much for your time. Good luck next week.
Sure.